Malusa's info, the synth production base is underwater. Let's go and try to find the entrance. So this is the entrance that leads to the synth production base. Ah, you're right. An important place like this is bound to have a ton of Protect Navias, probably.
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia. Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why I'm being charged with something I've never even heard of. However, I did hear that people, in which case, as long as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out fight with that champion duelist Clorend, right? I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received. When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back.
Hey! Don't you understand? You're currently—
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
No. That's not what I meant.
Alas, it would appear that In that case, let me—
That case had nothing to do with it. Huh? What's going on? What?
I told you—
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. But that was an exception rather than standard.
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any respect for this place's pointless theatrics? We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. And if my charges prove true, then—
Oh, so, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia.
That person— Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabaret— Huh? What confer—
I've heard of them, but—
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, and if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances—
Yes, I do—
In that case, I declare— Members of the Guard. Mr. Marcel, you will not require an attorney.
Apologies, sir. I think an attorney won't—
Very well.
I would like to take only through elucidating—
Navia, come on. What if that's enough to make—
Exactly correct, Your Honor.
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage. On the day of the murder, Spina, during the banquet, when the guests arrived at the scene, the guard's investigation did not recover. The suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself in court. Instead, Callus was defeated by champion. These are the known facts.
In truth, the third person shot after that, the true culprit turned the However, we— The testimony, however, something's— this assassin. A pile of buttons. Realizing this, the true...
So that's what happened. Wait, you're telling me—
What a great theory.
Mr. Marcel, you are the...
But I think I agree with everything.
Then, may I ask some questions? 1. Do you have—
I'm afraid...
If you don't have any evidence, you should just go—
I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go. We should be able to find a match. Considering the serial disappearances case, the guard...
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette, I would consider this to be a reasonable investigative direction.
Why do I feel like Farina's...
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing.
Alternatively, she's become more diligent.
My second question has to do with the Then why didn't Mr. Callis explain himself in court? If he had testified—
I've thought about this too. And the dissolving power of what my father could have exposed it for all to see. At that time, Spina di... What was certain, however...
Boss once told me that...
What?
If the secret had gotten... Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter and determine that we were... But what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect anyone? Had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice? But by staying silent, we retained the... I was able to become Spina, and once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will...
So, you mean—
That's right.
Do you have any—
Of course. All you need... I don't need your apology, your guilt,